What is your profession?
So here we have 2,000 points of Armageddon Steel Legion. This is a standard list that, if any of you have watched the channel before, will recognise. So we'll start off on the left and work our way across. We have 3 standard Legion Russes. Each one has 2 plasma cannon sponsons and a heavy bolter. 2 of them have executioner plasma cannons. 1 has a battle cannon. We then have a tank commander with battle cannon, twin plasma sponson and heavy bolter. 6 squads of infantry in chimeras. 3 with heavy bolter, plasma and bolt on the sergeant. 3 with mortar, plasma and bolt on the sergeant. And every chimera is identical, double heavy bolter and a heavy stubber. And finally, rounding out the force, we have 3 armor sentinels with las cannons, tech priests, 2 platoon commanders, just with las pistol and chainsword, and 2 company commanders. 1 has a bolt pistol and power sword, the other one has a power sword and las pistol. So there we go, nice and quick. You guys are probably familiar with this army. All this fits into a single brigade, 6 troops, 3 heavy support, 3 fast attack, 3 elite and 3 HQ. So there we go. Now let's see what the 234th Armageddon Mechanised Infantry will be facing off against today. So here we have 2,000 points of combined Space Marines and Adeptus Mechanicus. So starting off over here, we have a Razorback with twin las cannon. We have a Primaris Lieutenant with standard equipment, so the mastercrafted bolt rifle. Primaris Captain, he has a plasma pistol and power fist. Land Raider, the Beast, with 2 twin las cannons, twin heavy bolter and a storm bolter. And Apothecary. A Contemptor Dreadnought, which has a Carey's assault cannon, Dreadnought close combat weapon, and in that fist there is a combi bolter. We then have 5 assault terminators, 2 with double claw, 3 with shield and thunderhammer. We then have a storm talon with twin assault cannon and twin las cannon, and we have 5 devastators, 4 missile launchers, and the sergeant just has a bolter. Moving on to the Adeptus Mechanicus section, we have a very reliable. This is a pretty good configuration for the Honor Guard Dune Crawler. It's got the neutron laser for some absolutely serious anti-tank and 2 Cognis heavy stubbers. One's underneath the barrel there and one is on top. Then I have a squad of Vanguard with arc rifle and plasma cavalier. Another squad of Vanguard over here with 2 arc rifles. Oh, Rangers, sorry, with 2 arc rifles. And then a squad of Rangers with 2 of the transionic arquebuses. I just call them anti-material rifles, the big anti-tank weapons. Leading this detachment we have a Tech Priest Dominus and a Tech Priest Engine Seer. So there we go. So the detachments for this is a battalion with lots for the extra command points, and the spacing stuff is a Vanguard detachment. The Space Marines will be using the Iron Hand chapter tactics, so that their Dreadnought and their Terminators and their characters will all get a 6-up Feel No Pain. And the Adeptus Mechanicus are going for the Stygies or Stygies, not sure how to pronounce it. Stygies is what we're going with, which means over 12 inches, all these units here have -1 to hit, so that makes a very resilient fire base. So it definitely is an elite force versus a Horde mechanised force. We'll be back after deployment and we'll go through the mission and the fluff then as well. So here we have the Warlord and Relic Bearers of both armies. So the Armageddon Steel Legion are going for the fluffy option today. We're going to have ex-gang leader, so he has +1 attack and +1 to wound, and he has the Blade of Conquest to replace his power sword. And the Space Marines are going for, is it the Emperor's Blade?
No, it is Armageddon.
No, the Warlord trait.
Oh, Imperium Sword.
The Imperium Sword, sorry. The Imperium Sword, which gives him +1 attack and reroll charge distance. And his relic is going to be the Armor Indomitus, so he is going to be absolutely hard as nails. So there we go. No psychers in this army today, no heretic filth, but we'll be back after deployment, mission, and fluff. So here we are, field of battle after deployment. Iron line of brown tanks of the Armageddon 234th Mechanised Infantry facing off against the pretty formidable armoured line of the Adeptus Mechanicus and Adeptus Astartes as well. So what we have here is the Storm Raven on the flanks supporting the Skitarii contingent. And then moving over here we have the Adeptus Astartes. Nice little captain-lieutenant combo there next to these two heavy hitters. Standard deployment formation for the Armageddon. We've got our armoured fist platoon, 3 chimeras with a sentinel, main tanks in the centre, and another armoured fist platoon supported by a sentinel and a Lehman Russ. So pretty much the standard deployment. So mission today, we're doing something a little different. Me and Sam have both got a tournament coming up in August. We're going to the Critical Hit Games tournament, which is it used to be the site of Teacup. They always run ITC missions, so that's what we're practicing today. So we're doing Dawn of War. We're doing the four objectives, and we're doing the sort of standard ITC mission where if you've got one objective, you score a point. If you kill a unit, you score a point. If at the end of the battle round you've killed more than your opponent, you get a bonus point. If at the end of the battle round you've got more objectives than the opponent, you get a bonus point. There's also 3 secondaries that each side has chosen. And we're keeping tab of this on our very complicated scoring sheet here. So I have chosen Recon, which means I have to have someone in every table quarter to get a point. Behind enemy lines, where I have to have 2 units in the opponent's deployment zone to get an extra point. And Old School, which is Warlord, First Strike, Linebreaker, and Last Strike as well. So you can get a maximum of 4 points for each one of these secondaries for those of you that don't play ITC. Sam has gone for Big Game Hunter, which means for every unit he kills which has got plus more than 10 wounds, he gets a point. So very easy to score against all my chimeras. So he'll pop 4 chimeras pretty much and he'll get 4 points of that. Old School, same as me, and Recon, same as me. So there we go. So it's going to be quite interesting. But let's roll off to see who gets the first turn. We'll do that live on camera because it'll be a bit more interesting. It's Sam's dice today. So Sam deployed first, so he gets the +1. So I rolled a 3. That was 6. So he's definitely going first unless I seize the initiative. Which I don't get 3 again. So good luck, Sam. We'll be back at the end of turn 1. Scutari, Adeptus Astartes. So end of turn 1 for the Adeptuses. Should have mentioned it before in the deployment that this table is slightly big, by the way. It's got an extra 6 inches on both sides. But we're just, so if you're wondering why it looks like we've deployed really far forward, it's just because essentially there's a 6-inch dead zone here and the deployment starts from about here onwards. But anyway, for the Adeptus Mechanicus and Adeptus Astartes, the Adeptuses, they had a pretty good turn. Started off, these Arquebuses hit, but then failed to wound the Sentinel. These guys stayed here because it's ITC, I can't see them. They're nice and protected in those ruins. Same for these guys. This guy popped off a couple of cheeky shots at my Lehman Russ that was there and did 9 wounds to it. Gotta love the Onaga Dunecrawler at minimum damage 3. And then over here, a lot of shooting, a lot of 2s were coming up despite the Captain-Lieutenant combo. Land Raider split its fire. I should say this did 6 wounds to that Lehman Russ there. And the Land Raider decided to split its fire against the Lehman Russ there and the Lehman Russ there. Got 2 misses against the wounded one, got 2 hits, 2 wounds against the other one, and then I got 2 saves. So it didn't do anything and it was really wonky. Basically, the missiles then bounced, and the last thing was the Storm Talon came in and finished off the, with a clean 3 wounds, finished off the Lehman Russ that was over there. So 1 Lehman Russ destroyed, so Sam gets a point for that. Yay. And 1 Lehman Russ has taken 6 wounds. So pretty interesting. Let's see how the Steel Legion respond to this threat. So end of the Armageddon Steel Legion's first turn, end of the first battle round, so we'll be counting up points. Lone Wolf Squad came over here, and advanced. Lone Wolf Squad came over here, so neither of those chimeras shot, but we now have Recon. This chimera moved on to this objective, and this chimera moved on to this objective, and then everything else opened fire. Combined firepower from these 2 chimeras, this Sentinel, these 2 commanders, these 2 units here, absolutely everything managed to bring the Land Raider down to just 3 wounds. It's taken 13 wounds, but we didn't kill it. It then came down to this chimera and this Lehman Russ to target these Rangers here, but unfortunately 1 was left alive, so we didn't actually wipe a unit out this turn, which is a little surprising. So I don't actually get first strike or a kill point this turn. So that's actually a bit of a blow. But we're going to toss up the points now. So I didn't kill one, but I do have an objective, so I get a point there. And then I also managed to get a bonus point for holding more objectives than you. And then I also managed to get recon as well, so that's 1 point for that. Sam was able to get a kill, an objective, and you got a bonus point for killing more units than me as well. And you also got first strike, but you didn't get recon. So there you go, that's it. Oh, and you got Big Game Hunter as well, yeah. Did you kill, you just killed the one Lean Rust, didn't you? Yeah, you didn't kill the other one. So there you go, so far, Sam has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and I have 1, 2, 3. So at the end of round 1, the Adeptuses are in the lead, which is interesting. That I sort of realised halfway through my shooting phase that I'd poured absolutely everything into this Land Raider, and I was like, oh no, but oh well, easy mistake to make when, this is why we do these practices, so that you don't make that mistake when you're actually at the tournament. Should have said Sam rolled for his canticles and he got Shroud Sam, so there you go. But that it wasn't needed this turn. So there we go. So let's see what the Adeptuses can do at the end of their second turn. So at the end of the Adeptus' turn, they were able to do 7 wounds to this Chimera. 3 wounds were done by an arc rifle. Got 1 hit, 1 wound, failed it, and it's got a cheeky got D3 wounds against vehicles, and he got the 5 to get the maximum 3. Me and Sam were just saying that pretty much, apart from on 1 or 2 occasions, he's not failed to do maximum damage. Las Cannon's getting 6s, Neutron Laser getting at least 1 6 when it does do its damage. The only exception this turn was the Neutron Laser only managed to do 3 wounds, and then another one was done by a Heavy Stubbler. So that Chimera has done has taken 7 wounds, so he's got 3 left. These guys stayed here because there's no point in them popping out yet, because they're not going to be able to do much to a Chimera, and they're nice and safe there at the moment. Moving on over here, Retardo Land Raider wasn't able to do anything, but the twin las cannon and the missile launchers were able to finish off this Lean Rust, which exploded and did 2 damage to the Tech Freeze, 2 damage to the Tank Commander, and 3 damage to the Storm Raven. And then some light fire from various bolters was able to take 2 wounds off this Chimera. So that's it. The Storm Raven, unfortunately, wasn't able to damage the Sentinel and got double 1 when it came to wounding the Tank Commander with its las cannons. So there you go. That's it. So lost 2 Leman Russes, 1 a turn every turn. So that's pretty good going by the Adeptus. It's a surprisingly painful force, this one. It looks like it's only got a few units, but those units are very nasty. So let's see what the Steel Legion can do to try and regain the momentum and catch up on points. So a bit of a resurgence from the Armageddon 234th. They didn't do very well in turn 1, but turn 2 they've really pulled it back. So over here, this Chimera just moved around to get into the deployment zone, fired a few shots off the Devastator, wasn't able to do anything. The rest of these Chimeras poured loads of fire, these 3, into the Dread, but we were only able to do 1 wound to it. The Tank Commander was only healed by 1 wound by the Engine Seer, but was able to pop the Land Raider. Didn't even need his Plasma Bomb since the Battle Cannon managed to do it. And 1 Terminator died popping out. This Leman Rust was unable to do any damage to the Styges Onager Dune Crawler. That AP -1, no, not AP -1, the -1 to hit plus me moving meant my sponsors just weren't doing anything. My turret got a low amount of shots. Chimeras were able to do some damage to the Vanguard over here, and the infantry were able to finish them off just with loads of first rank fire, second rank fire. This last guy was picked off by a couple of lasguns and a heavy bolter because they were within 12 inches. And then the main event. I charged both units in against this hiding Vanguard unit, and at first it went really badly. So the first squad, 12 attacks, 2 hits, no wounds. Second squad, 12 attacks, 3 hits, then got 3 wounds, and Sam failed all 3 armor saves, but there's still 4 guys left. The officer, frustrated at his men's incompetence in close combat, revved up his chainsaw and went, "I'll show you how it's done," and 4 hits, 4 wounds, killed 3. And the last one ran away thanks to battle. Shut down thanks to battle shock. So the officer really proving his worth there. Nice little 20-point model. So the Qatari flank is looking a bit worse for Webb. We're going to add up points now. So we'll do me first. So I managed to kill something. No, do round 2.
Oh, my bad.
Just scribble that out. Yeah. So, and I hold an objective, and I killed more than you, and I hold more objectives than you, and I have recon, and behind enemy lines, because I have this unit is in the enemy deployment zone, and this unit is in the enemy deployment zone. Now you were able to kill something, and at the beginning of the turn you held an objective. And you did definitely got Big Game Hunter. You killed another Lehman Russ.
Yep, and that's it.
And that is it for now. So the points at the end of turn 2 stand at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the Armageddon, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the Adeptus Mechanicus. And they still. Oh no, you went first, didn't you? So that is this will
only 8 for me.
Only 8. Sorry.
Only 8. So
that's it. It's almost. It's very very close now. So we're going to go in to Armageddon. Not Armageddon. Adeptus, turn 3. There we go.
Nice.
So a pretty good turn from the Adeptus. This game is very back and forth. It's very balanced. Despite the fact that Skitarii taking a bit of a beating, they were able to do 6 wounds to the Lehman Russ, and the Dominus came in here and just pulled the Lieutenant apart limb from limb. Literally all hits, all wounds, no saves, 6 damage. Just a pulp. In return, the Guardsmen were able to do a wound to him on Overwatch. 2 wounds on Overwatch with an overcharged plasma gun. 1 with a combat knife in the ribs somewhere, if he still has ribs technically. Over here, the Storm Talon. It popped. What did it go?
Tank Commander.
It popped the Tank Commander, who had taken a load of damage from the missiles and the Twin Lads cannon over there. Dreadnought over here ran into, did a bit of shooting, ran in and was able to take 9 wounds off the Chimera. And then over here, everything, the whole Death Star charged in. Sam was able to bring one of them back with his Apothecary, who was chilling out in that Razorback. And just everything just got in there and just tore the Chimera to pieces. So that was pretty interesting. But that is it. Oh, I need to roll to see how many of those guys die. So we just need 9 dice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect.
Okay, 9 dice. And 3 1s. I don't care. Guardsmen are expendable. So I will have to take a leadership check though now. 5 plus 8, they'll lose 1 more. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So I've lost 4 guardsmen total from this squad. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So overall, Lehman Russ dead, Chimera dead. 1 more wound by the exploding tank commander here. Storm Time was able to do 3 wounds to that as well, and then basically some scattered casualties here and there. So all my vehicles are pretty much damaged at this point. It's just going to be a case of, can we just keep scoring those sweet, sweet objective points? Let's see what the Armageddon 234th can do. So another devastating turn by the 234th. Everything over here, including a cheeky plasma cannon and heavy bolter shot, fired into the Terminators and wiped them out. The reason we did that is we don't want this Apothecary to bring any of them back. So they're fully dead, they're gone, they're not coming back, finally. Did take a lot of firepower though. Over here, the Lehman Russ then put the rest of his firepower into this Dread and brought it down to 1 wound. I then tried to finish it off with these 2, but wasn't able to do anything. Dread turned round and failed to hit the Tech Priest and got double 1 to wound against the Sentinel. Basically, just a pillar fight over there. Sentinel over here missed the Honor Guard Dune Crawler. This guy moved and was able to kill 1 of the guys over there. I got 2 6s to hit and then a wound, and then Sam failed his save. Mm-hmm. This guy moved up here, was unable to do any damage to the Dune Crawler. These guys fell back, and these guys jumped out the Chimera and moved. The ones that fell back tried to do some damage to the Dread, but were unable to, and tried to do some damage to the Honor Guard Dune Crawler, but were unable to. He had to move and advance to get where he is, and he gave 3 orders this turn with an extra command point. So there you go. Let's add up these points now. So the Space Marines hold an objective,
yep,
for sure.
No.
Yeah, and they definitely killed. You killed a Lehman Russ and a Chimera, so that gets you 2 points. 1 point for killing a unit, and then 2 points for your Big Game Hunter.
So that's the max.
That's the max you can get for that now. And the Imperial Guard were able to get recon and behind enemy lines. And we killed a unit. We hold an objective. Now, who killed more? I killed...
You killed Terminators?
I think I just killed the Terminators this turn. And you killed a Lehman Russ and a Chimera. So you... At least.
Oh, and the officer.
And the officer. So you actually get the bonus point for the kills, and I get the bonus point for the number of objectives. So at the end of round 3, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That's 10. Oh no, it's not. That's an accident one.
Yeah, 9, 12, 14 to the Imperial Guard, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13 to the Adeptuses. So it is all to play for. There's a lot of Steel Legion on here, but there's not actually that much gone from the Adeptuses because they didn't have that much to start with. So they've still got plenty of assets on the board. Let's see what they can do going into their turn 4. Amazing turn by the Adeptuses. Over here, this was able to put 2 las cannons into this Lehman Russ and did 3 damage, and then it strafing runned the 10-man squad that was here, killed I think 8 of them, and the last 2 ran away thanks to Battle Shock. Over here, the Dominus continues his dance of destruction, and he jumped out, shot that squad, and got a bit of support fire from the Stubbers from that, and then charged in, and now there is only 5 of them left. I think 1 might have run away to Battle Shock. In return, they were able to put 1 wound onto him. Over here, the 10-man squad that was here got absolutely brutalised by some flak missiles, and then another 2 were killed by Deck Priest, and then a couple more ran away. So there's 1 guy left, but we still have OBSEC on that objective. Coming around here, the neutron laser shot into the Chimera that was on 1 wound, killed it, it exploded, and just took out the Dread and was 1 inch away from doing any damage to these. So basically he killed himself off that, which meant he wasn't able to kill either of those units, which basically meant he sort of screwed himself out of having equal or more objectives to me. So the Adeptus Mechanicus technology, it runs hot, which means it does high damage, but it also explodes. Over here, these 3 heroes basically shot up the squad that was here, charged in, and just did horrendous damage to them. The lieutenant actually went in against this squad, but I made both my armor saves. So that's it. The Steel Legion basically lost a Chimera and 40 infantry that turn. Huge amounts of foot sloggers have gone, but both sides looking pretty battered and bruised. Let's see what the Armageddons can do to try and stay in the game, because we have not got a lot of assets left, and a lot of the assets we have left are damaged. So let's see what happens going into our turn 4. So a very mixed Imperial Guard turn there. Lots of points, but not a lot of kills, unfortunately. So everything fired that could into the Primaris captain here and was able to do 2 wounds through him. Then the Warlord charged in with the Blade of Conquest. I actually got 3 wounds against him, but he made 2 of his saves. I needed a D3 and I only got 1 damage against him, so that was really unfortunate over there. And then over here, everything that could fired into the Storm Talon, and unfortunately wasn't able to do any damage to it, apart from, I think overall I was able to do 2 more damage to it from like sort of heavy bolters and heavy stubbers and stuff like that. And finally this guy, these all fell back and then got back in the fight and weren't able to do any damage to him, and then he charged in and did no damage to him. So nothing killed, but let's see what we've got in terms of points.
Okay.
So I don't get to kill anything, but I do...
All objectives.
I do have an objective. I control all objectives, yeah, but I don't get a bonus for that. I get 1 bonus point, basically.
One.
And then I get my recon.
Maxed up.
And behind enemy lines still. And you definitely killed something. Definitely get the bonus point for killing something.
No objectives.
No objectives.
Old school.
But old school for killing the Warlord. But you still don't have something in every table quarter.
No.
So, yeah, still struggling on that one. Yes, it's been really fortunate because when this thing has been in this table quarter, those Marines haven't been in that table quarter. So it's just been really difficult for you to get recon. But yeah, well, it's going to be difficult. I think, what are the points on now?
7 for your...
So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 18 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
16.
16. So what was that?
2 in the lead.
I'm 2 in the lead. Yeah. Imperial Guard, 2 in the lead. So, yeah, there we go. So going into turn 5. There's not a lot left on either side. I think Simon's going to do some cleaning up now. It's going to be, can the Guard maintain their lead? Let's see what happens. Turn 5, Adeptuses. So a lightning fast turn for the Adeptuses. The Storm Talent zoomed over here and strafed down the squad of Guardsmen. Its las cannons tried to go into this kind of here, but didn't damage it, and eventually it came down to the missiles from this squad that finally killed that Chimera. Neutron laser tried to blow up the Sentinel to take the 1 wound tech priest with it, but was only able to do 4 wounds. Stubbers were able to kill a couple from here. I need to take a leadership check. Get a 5, so I'm okay. And these two did no damage to each other. Tech priest was able to kill the lone guardsman over there, and the hero bonanza over here just destroyed that squad. So not a bad turn for the Adeptus. They've not really lost much in the last turn and a half. Let's see if the Armageddon Steel Legion can try and get a few more points here. So very quick Steel Legion turn, not a lot of damage done. We were unable to do any damage to the Dominus, but we put as much as we could into the Tech Priest and even charged him, but we're only able to do 3 wounds, so I didn't actually manage to kill a unit. A lot of, you know, loads of heavy bolter shots, but I only got 2 hits between these 2 Chimeras and like 1 stubber hit, so, and all that resulted in like 2 wounds, but it should have been a lot more. And then a couple of my Sentinels fired over at this thing. One of them hit, one of them wounded, some failed to save. I just needed a 5 or a 6 to pick it out of the sky, and I rolled a 1. So it is slightly retarded now, but you know, not enough to really worry about. And the last Sentinel over here was, yeah, that was it basically. Didn't hit what he was shooting at. So in terms of points, the Guard on turn 5 haven't killed something, but we have got an objective, and we've got more objectives. You've killed something at your turn, and you've got more kills. You don't have recon, but I have behind enemy lines, so I'm maxed out on that now. So I think that puts me 3 points ahead, roughly 3 points ahead. I think we've still got kill points to add on to this at the end, don't we? So we'll see how it balances out. But yeah, the Guard have a slight lead at the moment. Maybe it's really going to probably come down to kill points at the end. So what an absolutely just incredible last turn from both sides. We've just done a turn 6 wrap up because we're getting a little bit short of time, and there wasn't a lot to do, to be honest. So the Adeptuses had a really, really crazy turn. They just could not kill a single unit. They brought this down to 1 wound. They killed this. They only managed to kill 1 guy from this squad. The las cannons were unable to damage this, and the assault cannons did like a couple of wounds, but it wasn't a huge amount in total. And that was it. Like, everything just kept bouncing off. They just kept failing to wound. It was just crazy. And then in return, the only thing that the Guard were able to do any damage to was that they managed to kill the Tech Priest. That was it. We basically fired a bolter at him, didn't do anything, threw a frag grenade at him from the officer, and got that last wound through and killed him. So really sort of basically both sides, clearly by the end of this game, both forces were just absolutely exhausted. Really interesting because the Steel Legion for basically 3 turns didn't kill anything, and the Adeptus forces just kept bringing it back bit by bit. So if you look what's left, I've got 3 Chimeras left, and 3 Chimeras, a Lieben Russ and the Sentinels, and that's it. Basically, all my infantry is gone, but 3 or 4 models. So, which is incredible. My Sentinels usually never last the whole game. They're usually the first things to die. So we've done all the points. I know, and obviously the Adeptus have basically still got most of their effort. They've still got their hero. gang over there. These guys have lost a couple, but nothing really. So yeah, they took a couple of bad. The first 3 turns were rough for them, and then they sort of just withstood it, took out the Liam Russes, and that was it. They didn't, they just kept just doing damage, and the guard weren't able to do much back. So we've added all the points up, and basically it comes down to if kill points are included. We're not sure. So based on non-kill points, the guard were able to get a total of 25, and the Adeptus Mechanicus and Adeptus Astartes were able to get 18. So 7 pointers there, so that would be a victory for the guard. If we are including kill points, and we're still learning ITC. We've been to a tournament, but we're still very, very new to how ITC works, so we can't really remember the tournament. It was a couple of months ago, so if someone could let us know in the comments. If it includes kill points, the guard get +7, so it gives them 32, and the Adeptuses get +14, which gives them 32, so it would be a draw. So it's either a draw or a win for the guard, but either way, absolutely great practice. Both sides learn a hell of a lot. Line of sight blocking was used to great effect the whole time, using the ITC cover rules. And yeah, both armies did very well. I think the Space Marines held on for a lot longer than both sides were expecting, and actually ended up just pushing back. And when they identified those key guard damage dealers, that was it basically. They took out most of the Russes, degraded one to the point where it wasn't doing any damage, and yeah, absolutely fantastic. So really, really good game. Both sides have really enjoyed it.
Yep.
Leave lots and lots of comments, and we'll see you guys next time. We'll end with a nice picture of this amazing Dune crawler. I've been meaning to zoom in on this all game, I just keep forgetting.